Hi everybody! This video will be a review on solving equations. Now by this point you've seen one-step equations, two-step equations, multi-step equations, and equations where the variable is on both sides. You should know how to do them all. Now let's get right to some examples. Now in every equation you look at, you have to notice the operations that are going on. For example, in 8 plus 3x equals 29, there are two terms being added, and then the 3 and the x are being multiplied. So the goal of solving equations is to have an answer where the x is alone and x equals something. And the way you get there is you undo all the operations that are going on in the problem. You undo operations by doing the opposite one. So let's go right ahead and do that. The 8 is being added to the 3x, and since it's positive, we can go ahead and subtract it in order to cancel it out. If you do it to one side of the equal sign, you have to do it to the other side. So these 8's cancel, and on this side, you're left with 3x, and then you have 29 minus 8 equals 21. Now, like we said before, the 3 is being multiplied with the x. So the way we undo that is division. So let's go ahead and divide each side by 3. The 3's cancel. You're left with x equals 7. Now the x is alone, and that's your answer. Let's use the same idea here. If we notice, this is a divided by 6 minus 5 equals 9. So let's undo all those operations that are going on. Since the 5 is being subtracted, we're going to add 5 to both sides. Now on this side, the minus 5 plus 5 cancels. You're left with a divided by 6 equals 14. Now we have a divided by 6, so we're going to undo this division by multiplying both sides by 6. These 6's simplify out, and we're left with a equals 84. And that is your answer. All right. Here we have an equation where there's a variable on both sides of the equal sign, and there's also a plain number, also called a constant, on both sides of the equation. So what that means is that we have to mathematically move those items to the point where we get what our goal is. A variable equals something. So we have to get the x over to one side of the equation. You can choose to move the x's first, or we can choose to move the plain numbers. I'm going to move the plain numbers. So let's make these 12 cancel out. And since it's being subtracted, I'm going to add 12 to both sides. Over here, the 12's cancel, and we're left with 8x equals, we didn't do anything with the 4x yet, so just bring it down. And then 24 plus 12 is 36. Okay, we're almost there. Again, we have variable on both sides, so let's make one of them cancel so that they're only on one side. If we notice, the 4x is positive and being added to the 36 over here. So I'm going to choose to subtract 4x from both sides. Over here, we're left 8x minus 4x equals 4x. These cancel, and we're left with 36. Looks a little bit simpler now. The 4 and the x is being multiplied, so we divide each side by 4, and we're left with x equals 9. Alright, now there's a few things to notice with this one. We notice that there are variables on both sides of the equal sign, and you have this -3 next to the parentheses, which means we're going to distribute. There's a few ways you can go about this, but I'm going to choose to distribute first. And we distribute, it's going to be on this side of the equal sign. So I'm just going to bring down this 14 plus 3n, because we're not doing anything with it yet. -3 times n is -3n. -3 times 4 is -12. Okay, again, a couple ways that we can proceed. I'm going to choose to combine my like terms. The like terms on this side of the equal sign, we have 8n and -3n. So again, I'm just going to keep this 14 plus 3n. 8n minus 3n is 5n. Now we have an equation that looks just like the last one. I will choose to add 12 to both sides. (14 plus 12 is 26. The -12 plus 12 cancels, so we have 5n. Now we want the n's to both be on one side, so we're subtracting 3n from both sides. These cancel. We have 26 equals 2n. Divide both sides by 2. And we have 13 equals n as our answer. For extra practice, go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own. Then continue playing to check to see if you did it right. Alright, try the next one. Pause the video and try this one on your own. (19 equals x is your answer. Again, pause the video and try this one on your own. Then continue playing to check to see if you got it right. And x equals 5. Good job!